Music is an industry, but also a concept. It can be used for entertainment, but it can also be used to influence society. I'm Joshua Reeb, and I am part of many musical activities at the high school. I also took a music theory and history class last year. Now, how many of you like to listen to music? I know I do. Now, I want you to think about your favorite artist or genre of music. Whatever or whoever is in your head is part of a concept that has lasted thousands of years. Even though music can be really old, that doesn't mean that it can't be found in popular media today. The first instrument ever found is a flute made out of bone, dating back to 60,000 BCE. The earliest song ever recorded, according to scholars, is called the Hurrian Hymn, and it was written between the 13th and 14th century BCE. According to Circle Through New York, it is about fertility and making sacrifices to the moon goddess Nikal. Music has always had a large impact on different cultures, and that extended into ancient civilizations. Now, our first formal period of music is ancient music, and it goes back down to ancient Egypt, where archaeologists found trumpets and percussion instruments dating all the way back to 1323 BCE. And then they were probably used in religious ceremonies and public events. But then we go to Mesopotamia, and they helped develop music theory. And Mesopotamia gives us diatonic scales, which is pretty much your regular major scale. And they also give us harmonies, either in thirds or fifths. And in Greece, they hone in on those harmonies and they focus on them. And they give us Pythagorean harmonies, which is now known as the circle of fifths. And ancient Greece also gives us modes. And a mode, put very simply, is if we're in C major, but we play a D scale in C major. That's a mode. Now, after ancient Rome falls, we have a period of time called the Middle Ages, and music expands into what is called sacred music. And the Middle Ages last from about 500 to 1400 AD, and sacred music is pretty much just music to worship God. And we have two types of music in medieval music. We have monophonic music, which means we only have one melody, one idea that is being sung about by a choir, or we have homophonic music, which means there are two melodies or two ideas going on at the same time. Now, music was commissioned by the church for Mass, and it was usually commissioned to composers who studied music or who studied religion. And the most popular song from the medieval time, from the medieval period, is a song you may recognize if you've ever seen The Shining or The Lion King, the Dies Irae, or the Day of Wrath. Next, we move to the Renaissance, the time of rebirth, spanning from 1400 to 1600 AD. And if you think about how medieval music was used as sacred music, this is the complete opposite. Throw that away. It's entertainment now. It's used for fun. And with this new idea and reinventing of what music is, comes with many new instruments, one of which becomes our modern-day piano, and it's called the harpsichord. According to Britannica.com, the harpsichord is a 16th century instrument, and it was originally made a string instrument. What? It was used with feathers plucking strings. And along with instruments, the Renaissance helped develop new musical ideas. It helped develop more complex rhythms and introduced four-part harmonies and choral pieces, which we still use today. And those four-part harmonies are also how we compose instrument pieces. And finally, our Baroque period. And the Baroque period brings structure to music. It is how we most clearly see music as it is today, or even classical music. Composers now use major and minor scales to talk about feelings and to develop feelings and show feelings in their music. And the Baroque music helps music become more sophisticated, more for the upper class. In the development of operas and symphonies, which were usually performed in opera houses or concert halls, very similar to this one, like I had pictured up above. And who can talk about the Baroque period without at least mentioning the most famous Baroque song ever, the Hallelujah Chorus from Handel's Messiah. Finally, ancient, medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque music all crescendos into a beautiful, diverse tree of different musical genres we listen to today. Even though some music was written hundreds of years ago, it is still found in our society and is still familiar to us. Music has such a rich history that spans back generations, and the artists we listen to on a daily basis are part of that complex web. By listening to their music, we then become a part of one of the most beautiful stories ever told, the story of music. Thank you.